Before we get into covering the stories of each chapter individually, let's start with some basic concepts. The 0 point. A big glowy orb created by the Big Bang. Its home, titled Reality Zero, is made a huge target due to its presence. It's been contained by an organization for millennia. It connects all realities, or the omniverse, between any fictional universe, including ours, which means yes, you, the viewer, are canon to Fortnite. The Loop. The loop is the reason for the main Battle Royale gameplay loop. It was created by the organization known as the Imagined Order. Every 22 minutes, the island resets, everyone dead is respawned, and memories are erased. Those trapped within the loop are known as loopers, and cannot speak while being looped. The storm is some sort of natural occurrence that is connected to the loop. The last one standing, those who get a Victory Royale, are freed from the loop. Snapshots. Snapshots are clones that are created in a loop to replace someone who won and has escaped the loop. Snapshots can have different traits than the original person, but do retain some form of their memory. For example, all the different Jonesy clones. Those are snapshots of the same person. The Seven. An organization made up of 7 members. Wow, who could have guessed? The members are the Visitor, the first one that came to the island while we were on it, in Chapter 1, Season 4. Scientist, the brains behind the 7, also the comic relief, and he created an AI that calls him Daddy.
Extremely intense, and she won't stop calling me daddy, but, she's still in beta. So anyway...
The Paradigm, actually Brie Larson, piloted the mech in the Mech vs. Monster event and Collision, trapped on the Ice Moon for a long time. Foundation, Dwayne Johnson, the leader of 7, sealed himself away to protect the island during the events of Zero Crisis finale. The Origin, he's British. Ugh. He was the Cube King before being captured by the Imagined Order. During an escape, the 7 found and recruited him. He also has an amazing rap career.
Y'all they see him now, right? A member of the 7, but it hasn't been easy. Let me tell you his progression.
The Imagined, one of the daughters of Juno, leader of the Imagined Order, also had sex with Wolverine. The Order, the other daughter of Juno, has done literally nothing. The Imagined Order. Control the loop and the island behind the scenes for millennia. Had a 0 point in containment in an area known as the Bridge. Their goal was to create the perfect genetic society. All of the bunkers on each island lead to their underground complex. They use the 0 point to control the loop and travel to other realities through the bridge. Their important members are Gino, the leader of the Imagined Order, has 2 daughters, the Imagined and the Order. Wow, I wonder where we got those names from. His ultimate goal was to create the perfect genetic society. Dr. Sloan, second in command of the IO, swore her life to the IO, overseer of John Jones. Speaking of, John Jones, top agent of the IO, the original version of Jonesy, turns on the IO after they abandon Reality Zero in the events of Chapter 2, Season 5, and he's still with us to this day. The Last Reality. They want to destroy all realities, thus making theirs the last reality. Creator of the cubes, zombies, aliens, and maybe even the demons seen in Chapter 6. They see Reality Zero as the biggest target due to 0 point. They want the power of the 0 point for their own. The Origin was once their king, known as the Cube King, before he turned away seeing the destruction he caused. The Cube Queen, ruler of the last reality, responsible for the cube attacks in Chapter 1, Season 5, Season 6, and Chapter 2, Season 8. Also responsible for the End 2 event. Presumably responsible for the Chrome in the Chapter 3, Season 4. Has an amazing singing voice. Being composed of, and in control with, has been known as Chrome. Presumably sacrificed herself to fuse with the reality tree in the event Fracture to destroy the island.
We got a #1 victory royale. Yeah, Fortnite, we bout to get down. Get down.
Chapter 4 saw the start of the main story. At the end of Season 3, a meteor was visible in the sky that crashed into Dusty Depot, turning it into Dusty Divot. Contained inside was the Visitor, who modified a prop rocket from a movie into a functional rocket to escape the loop and return home. The Blast-Off event. Mysterious warnings appeared all over the TVs on the island. Suddenly, from the villain-based movie set, the prop rocket launched into the air. It needed power, so it rifted several times before launching directly upwards, causing a large rift to appear over the island. Season 5. The rift in the sky summoned a strange cube known as Kevin from striking lightning several times in the desert. It rolled across the island, leaving 6 ruins burned into the ground, before rolling into Loot Lake, where he dissolved, turning the entire lake to become purple and bouncy. Season 6. Kevin's dark power pulled a giant chunk of Loot Lake into a huge floating island, including the poorhouse in the middle. Kevin's island floated across the island, regaining his power from the ruins he left, and tearing them from the ground to join his floating archipelago. At the center of the crater in Loot Lake was a mysterious purple vortex. After regaining his full power, Kevin returned to Loot Lake. Fort Nightmares, 2018. Kevin released a huge shockwave, destroying the island around him and causing purple pillars to appear where all his ruins were. From the obelisks, fearsome cube monsters were summoned. Kevin started dripping a mysterious purple ooze into the vortex at Loot Lake. Over the course of Fort Nightmares, Kevin became more cracked and significantly less saturated as his color dripped into the Loot Lake. The Butterfly Event. After draining all his power into the vortex, Kevin reached a breaking point. He started spinning before causing a huge explosion. The explosion transported the loopers to a strange location known only as the In-Between. A butterfly made from a rift slowly flew around before landing on the loopers, causing them to be sent back to the island, where Loot Lake has been transformed into a beautiful haven. Season 7. Christmas has come around, so is a giant chunk of ice, covering the bottom left of the map with eternal frost. Atop the polar peak lied a frozen kingdom slowly thawed throughout the season. What caused this rapid thawing? Was it global warming? Nope! Instead, it was a fiery prisoner trapped within the castle's dungeon. What's more, a giant eyeball was visible near the base of the iceberg. Season 8. The prisoner had escaped and reclaimed his place as the Fire King, causing a huge volcano to emerge. The Imagined Order ordered excavations across the island to dig up strange artifacts and relieve pressure to prevent an eruption. Once they were all dug up, the Imagined Order dug up Loot Lake, revealing a metal vault hidden underneath. The artifacts were keys to the vault, and the preparations were complete to open it. The unvaulting / the eruption. The vault opened wide, sucking the loopers inside. Once inside, they had a choice to unvault one of 6 lost items hidden in the vault. The drum gun one. Should have been the planes or the TAC SMG, but, drum gun, whatever. Not salty about that at all, definitely. Also inside the vault was a mysterious helmet and a giant blue orb of energy. That'll be very important moving forward. Once the loopers chose what they wanted to release from the vault, they were released, and the volcano erupted. Retail Row and Tilt Towers were decimated. Even Polar Peak was struck, awakening something long dormant. Season 9. It's the future, and things have changed big time. Tilted and Retail Row are ancient history, leaving room for new futuristic cities and malls to take place. An ancient danger stirred within Polar Peak, eventually breaking free and taking the castle with it. Loopers reported seeing a Polar Peak castle in the ocean, around the island, on the back of a mysterious creature. The now industrialized volcano, now called Pressure Plant, was the area for where the IO would create their newest machine, a huge mech capable of fighting off this new threat. The final showdown. From the water, a large monster known as the Devourer emerged, headed for the vault, punching against the metal door, trying to get inside. From the pressure plant, the mech activated, launching a barrage of missiles at the Devourer, and the battle had begun. After a brutal attack, the mech was heavily damaged and lost an arm. In a last-ditch move, the mech punched through the vault door, harnessing the power of the 0 point. It was the blue orb from the unvaulting. I told you it'd be important. Using its newfound power, it lifted a statue in Neo Tilted, which was actually a sword. It stabbed the Devourer through its big old eyeball, killing it instantly, before hitting the floss and flying away. Season X.
Season X is here, and the world is destabilizing fast.
Due to the 0 point being exposed, reality is collapsing. Dusty Depot was brought back, along with a meteor frozen in time right above it. The IO sends mechs to attempt to keep the loopers contained. Within the meteor lied the scientist, another member of the 7, who got to work. The scientist cooked up and unleashed a virus into all the mechs, causing them self-destruct on impact. He also worked on building a new rocket, and readied himself for the end.
7 of us are attempting is very risky. I suspect they are not the only ones watching, but it must be done or we lose the bridge forever. I speculate that no one calculated the formation of the island, that interdimensional matter collisions would resolve rather than push. Now that I witnessed it firsthand, it's obvious that pinching alone made it inevitable. When I hear this again, will it help me remember? Or once looped, will I be just as muted as the others? No matter, it seems the lengthy precautions worked. The theorem was a success. You arrived outside the loop at the exact moment of expansion. This effectively paused the singularity, giving us time to create the devices needed to synchronize the junction. What I didn't factor was that the only way to trigger the device was from within the loop itself. Thus this hasty and primitive recording, and why now I, find myself looped. Activate the beacon at precisely the moment this timer reaches nothing. The 0 point must be contained once more. If they are correct, it will be the end.
That was a lot of words, but what the hell was he talking about? Basically, the scientist recorded his plan on tapes, so he would remember after losing his memories and voice upon entering the loop. He mentions that the only way for him to activate the rocket was from within the loop, which is why he had to enter the loop. He mentions how the visitor entered the loop during reset, thus escaping being looped. He discusses his plan. When the timer countdown reaches 0, he activates the rift beacons, calling the 7 to the island. The end. Plan is ready when the countdown hits nothing. The rocket launched into the sky, creating several rifts. 6 other rockets, resulting in 7, appeared and created a large rift in front of the meteor using the 0 point. After enough time, the meteor's time freeze ended and it landed into the rift. It appeared above the 0 point, crashing into it and causing it to absorb the island, resulting in a black hole. Recap! The meteor crashed into the island, releasing the visitor, who used a rocket to escape, creating a rift. The rift caused a cube to spawn, who rolled around the island and into Loot Lake. Loot Lake was pulled into the sky, and after a trip around the island, heaven exploded, sending us to the in-between. Polar Peak crashed into the island, freeing the prisoner from its depths. The vault underneath Loot Lake was opened, revealing the 0 point inside, and the volcano erupted. The Devourer, a monster trapped inside Polar Peak, was freed. Bottom Mech created to stop it. In a last-ditch effort, the Mech used the 0 point for power to kill the Devourer. The 0 point being released caused reality to crumble. Level 7 used the meteor to collapse the 0 point, causing a black hole to consume the island. The black hole. For 2 whole days, Fortnite was offline into a black hole. Perceptive loopers could notice numbers hidden around the black hole, which seemed to correlate the message from the scientist. By lining up the numbers to words from his tapes, the scientist's secret message was revealed. I was not alone. Others were outside the loop. This was not calculated. The nothing is now inevitable.
Fortnite's kinda dying. It was always fine until we started trying.
Chapter 2, Season 1 and Season 2. The 0 point recreated the island into a whole new island. Over the course of 2 seasons, 2 new factions got into a war, Ego/Ghost and Alter/Shadow. But the wars were a cover, a facade made by a man named Midas to distract the imagined order from his true plan. What was his plan? It would soon be revealed as the countdown appeared over Midas's headquarters at the center of the island, the Agency. The device. Once the countdown ended, a strange device exploded out of the Agency, rising high into the air with several smaller pillars rising as well. It started charging power, seemingly waiting for something. As usual, the storm grew small, slowly surrounding the Agency. That's when the device activated, channeling power like Tesla coils, building up energy and trying to break the storm to escape the loop. Suddenly, the loopers got a vision of a strange place. Is that an office? A man out of view was on the phone with someone, and by the sound on his desk, it seems his name was John Jones. He was attempting to get the loop back under control. It seems not even the imagined order knew what the storm really was. We went back to the island, and the storm seemed defeated. The device retracted to the ground, and Midas seemed to have won. Then we go back to Jones' office, where everything seems to be under control. The door opens, and Jones enters the office, shocked by not only how we were in his office, but that we could hear him? Suddenly, we zoom back to the island, where the storm has become flooded with water, preventing the device from causing any further damage and saving the loop. Chapter 2, Season 4. While Season 3 didn't continue the story at all, Season 4 picked it up real fast. The Devourer of Worlds, Galactus, sniffed out the power of the 0 point as a delectable snack. He set course for the island, as warned by Marvel heroes and villains appearing on the island. Tony Stark experimented with rifts, including rifting his entire laboratory onto the island. With Galactus approaching rapidly, Stark created a plan. The Devourer of Worlds. Galactus finally reached the island and backhatted the helicarrier, sending it flying and crashing into the ground. He immediately began to snack on the 0 point, until Tony Stark began his plan. The loopers were transported into modified battle buses equipped with lasers, bombs, and AC/DC. The plan was simple: fly the buses close enough for Galactus to eat them, and he fell for the bait. The event ended with a look into the now hectic office of John Jones, with him awakening to a ringing phone. Chapter 2, Season 5. Agent John Jones was sent to the island to recruit hunters to protect the 0 point from loopers trying to escape the loop. Jones carried a portal device, that protected him from the loop and allowed him to bring hunters from other realities. However, he overused the device, making the Zero Point heavily unstable, and beginning the Zero Crisis finale. The Zero Point was beyond the point of saving, and everything was going to end. The IO ordered all agents to retreat, but Jones is tired of running. He was planning to do what they should have done from the start. The hunters Jones recruited attempted to stop him, but Peely and his other allies helped him off, allowing Jones to toss his portal device into the Zero Point. Within lied the leader of the Seven, Foundation. The Foundation was not happy seeing Jones and immediately went on the attack. Jones stopped assault with a single name. Geno! I can get you, Geno! After some negotiating, the Foundation agrees to help and recruits the Looper, who Jones recognized from his office. The Foundation begins a process known as blooming the Zero Point, which causes the reality to change minute by minute. Jones is turned into a butterfly, leaving the Looper to close reality strands, which are portals to other realities. The Foundation can't stop the Zero Point, and he realizes this, so he makes a new plan. He holds the Zero Point together inside as a spire of chromium, not same as chrome, is created to wrap around the Zero Point. The Foundation promises to find Jones as Jones throws a portal device into the Zero Point, sealing the Foundation away and trapping Jones in a loop. Chapter 2, Season 6. The only notable thing of this season was that Raz, an acolyte of the last reality, used an amulet to cause a large energy signature, fluing powers beyond our understanding to the island.
Batman Fortnite.
In Gotham City, Batman is knocked into a rift onto the Fortnite Island by an unseen force, trapping him in the loop. As the world's greatest detective, he slowly discovers how it works, leaving himself reminders, eventually recruiting Catwoman to his cause, how to escape. The IO notice Batman's plan to escape and send Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe to stop him. After several loops of fighting, they agree to become allies, and Snake Eyes sacrifices himself, letting Batman escape the loop. Batman and Catwoman reunite outside the loop, alongside a group of other escape loopers, including the longest free looper, Renegade Raider. The group uses energy frequencies to access the bunkers around the island, leading them to the IO complex. Batman finds Fishstick dead! Oh no, someone in the group is working with the IO! The group finds the Zero Point, and a member of the group, the Eternal Voyageur, jumps in. Unfortunately for them, the Zero Point was not calibrated, meaning it was connected to all realities at once, and the Eternal Voyageur was torn to shreds and spread across the Omniverse. Vibrations, alongside plates of a strange material, calibrate the Zero Point to one reality. Batman finally figures this out. Deathstroke, the pedophile, was the mole. He was the one who pushed Batman into the loop, through the rift. All the escaped loopers were sent home, and Deathstroke used a portal device to escape back to Gotham City. Batman and Catwoman escape the loop, closing Rift in Gotham. Also, Batman becomes depressed because him and Catwoman are no longer in love because they knew who they are again. So, that's Batman Fortnite. Chapter 2, Season 7. A huge alien mothership covered the island in darkness, and an alien invasion begun. Dr. Sloan finally made her way to the island, preparing a plan to stop the mothership, alongside Rick Sanchez for some reason. Over the course of the season, the mothership sucked up 3 different POIs, including Sloan's base operation, Coney Complex. What the aliens didn't know was that Sloan planned for this all along. Before the cool lore stuff, there was a concert. The aliens hosted a concert with Ariana Grande as a cover to scan our brains for information on where the Zero Point is, because they wanted it for themselves. More Batman Fortnite. The Foundation woke up in Gotham City after the spire blew up from the mothership. He immediately got into a fight with Batman, while Batman mentions the Zero Point and the Imagined Order. The duo team up as they both see the Imagined Order as enemies. The duo head to Metropolis as a giant rift opened there. Batman realized he was played. Dr. Sloan and Lex Luthor hired Deathstroke to lure Batman to escape the loop, thus opening a portal in Metropolis. They did this because the Zero Point was trapped in the spire, and the IO lost use of it. After a fight, the Batman who laughed knocked the Foundation into a rift, sending them both into the island. Batman closes the rift with the device, while the Foundation fights the Batman who laughs. He wins and flies out to find Jones, as the Batman who laughs is trapped in the loop. Operation Skyfire. Fun fact, this event was supposed to be on September 11th, but they moved it for obvious reasons. Sloan's plan came to fruition as the mothership abducted Coney Complex and the loopers within it. The loopers were caught and sent to prisons, which Sloan hacked them to free them from. She ordered them to head to the abduction chamber within the middle of the mothership. The loopers found the room with Coney Complex, saw bombs stuck all over the landmass, and Sloan began the bomb's detonation process. Suddenly, the strange liquid under the loopers' feet began to stir as a familiar cube appeared. The backpack Sloan attached to each looper sent a shockwave that killed Kevin, and the plan continued. The bombs were set, and the loopers were waiting to be sent home, with Sloan and other plans.
We are fighting a war in which we are hopelessly outgunned. I won't bring you home.
The Loopers were stuck in a death trap, with seemingly nowhere to go, but they had a plan. They turned to Kevin, and together, rebooted him, turning him blue into Blevin. The now rebooted Kevin, or Blevin, brought the Loopers to the center of the mothership, where thousands of cubes resided, alongside a single golden cube in the distance. The bombs went off, sending the cubes and the mothership into a crash course for the island. Chapter 2, Season 8. The cubes landed on the island, and the gold cube began to move. It zapped all the purple cubes, causing them to reproduce and head towards the center of the island. All the cubes met up in the center, and the golden cube floated in the air. Fortnite 2021. Out of the golden cube emerged the Cube Queen. Summoned zombies, alongside new, large ones called caretakers who attacked the loopers and prepared to assault on the island. The IO created a base to defend against the TLR's forces. The cubes formed a large colony on the island, known as the Convergence, with the Cube Queen at the center. Eventually, the Convergence became a huge pyramid with the Cube Queen at the top and an impenetrable orb of energy. The End 2. Blevin appeared at the IO camp, ready to defend the loopers against the Cube Queen's forces. The Cube Queen put her plan into motion, firing a laser into the sky, opening a portal to the last reality's forces alongside a warning.
The last reality is
Blevin defended as much as he could, but eventually fell as the UFO hit him with a laser, shattering him into pieces. Deep underground in the IO base, Sloan is ignoring the issues above, and prepares for something she's been waiting for a long time. She prepares Jones's execution as something slams into the metal locked door. The Foundation tears through the door and guards, saving Jones, taking off his helmet to reveal that he is the Rock. Him and Jones head to the bridge, preparing to travel to the flip side. The Loopers are becoming outnumbered. The Scientist and the Visitor swoop in and save the day. The Visitor fights off against the Caretakers, as the Scientist opens the bunker, leading the Loopers inside to safety. The Scientist leads the Loopers to the bridge, where the Foundation and Jones fight out the remaining IO guards and disable the gyro anchor on the island, causing the entire island to rotate. Everyone meets up the bridge, but then a Caretaker breaks the glass, causing the Looper to be cast out to sea. They watch as the island flips, stopping the Cube Queen and her plans for good. Recap 2. A new island was formed by the 0 point. Midas uses a device to attempt to break the storm and end the loop, but he failed. Galactus attempted to eat the 0 point, leading to it becoming exposed and unstable. Jones betrayed the IO, and with the Foundation, sealed the 0 point to stop it from exploding. An alien mothership blew up the spire, freeing the Foundation and the 0 point. Sloan bombed the mothership, leading many cubes to the island. The cubes formed the Convergence, and the Cube Queen arrived to the island via the Golden Cube. Sloan attempts to execute Jones before Dwayne Johnson saves him. The Seven flip the island, defeating the Cube Queen and bringing us to the flip side.
Fortnite battle pass. I just shit out my ass. Booted.
The Awakening. The Looper wakes up to find the Foundation waiting for them nearby. He explains that while the IO has 0 point contained, threats like the last reality will keep coming to take it. If they can free it, everyone can go home for good. Chapter 3. The island is now on the flip side, and the Seven's home was revealed, the Sanctuary. Over the course of the season, the scientists worked secretly to find the paradigm. It was a taboo subject to the rest of the Seven, due to her supposedly betraying them to help the IO, and is assumed dead. The Imagine also helped the scientists, and they found a distress signal coming from the ice moon that surrounds the island, inside the big space bubble where the loop is contained. Loud rumbling noises were heard near the end of the season. Something or someone was coming. Chapter 3, Season 2. IO burrowed to the island to reach the flip side, in a giant drill that acted as their new home base. The Fortress. A full-blown war started, the IO versus Seven. All members of Seven, minus Paradigm, were ready to fight, and plans took shape. While everyone else was preparing for final foundation with the IO, the Imagined had other plans. She asked the Looper to help them establish communication with Paradigm. Meanwhile, the IO created a machine capable of ending all reality, the Collider. Fortnite times Marvel, Zero War. The Visitor comes up with a plan to destroy the Collider. The mech that Paradigm piloted, trapped in the Ice Moon, is their only hope. Spider-Man and Jones convince the Marvel heroes to help, but Wolverine refuses, until the Imagined seduces him in helping them. The group splits up. Spider-Man, Jones, Wolverine, and the Imagined go to Reality 616 to find a shard of the 0 point, while the rest of the group head to the Ice Moon to retrieve the mech. The group arrive on the Ice Moon, and the Foundation finds Paradigm, who's still alive in her mech. Paradigm awakens from her stasis, and attempts to convince the Foundation that she is not a traitor. and she had to side with the Io to stop the Devourer, or else they would have created the Collider in Chapter 1. The 616 group meet with Shuri and spend the night in Wakanda Wilderness, where the Imagined explains her past to Wolverine. Her and her sister were genetically perfected before their birth by Gino. He bet that the two siblings would be the first to escape the loop, and when they weren't, he replaced them with snapshots. Jones also explains his past to Shuri, how he joined the Magic Order to ensure his grandchildren and future generations of family would be safe forever. Sex. Sex is canon to Fortnite. The 616 group head through a rift and find the Zero Point Shard in the Polar Peak Castle, where the Ice King explains the explosion from Kevin caused a chunk of the Ice Moon to crash into the island, and the Fire King and the Devourer were sealed in the ice as they were dangers to the multiverse. Doctor Doom shows up with the Zero Point Shard, and after a fight, Spider-Man takes it. The gang use the shard to repair the mech and prepare for an assault on the Collider. Collision. Collision and Issue 5 of Zero War overlap, so I'm going to combine them here. The mech lands on the island and heads for the Collider, as Foundation, Jones, Iron Man, and Spider-Man prepare to act as ground forces. The mech takes critical damage, but it's saved by Peely, who drives a slurp truck into it after many attempts of driving across the season. The mech attempts to slash down the Collider with his light blade, but is knocked down by an earthquake. The Zero Point is being extracted from the ground, heading for the crystals of the Collider, which would end all existence. Wolverine and the Imagined notice a strange figure on the Collider, and with the latter recognizing it as Geno, calling the Order immediately to help. The Imagined, the Order, and Wolverine fly to the top and prepare to strike Geno, but he shows mercy to his daughters, attempting to send them to a safe reality. But the Imagined breaks free of his grip and knocks herself and him into the Zero Point, sacrificing herself and shattering them across the Omniverse. From within the Zero Point, Geno orders the Imagined Order to wipe everyone out of existence forever. Nearby, Jones, the Foundation, and the Loopers arrive at Sloane's tank. Jones survives Sloane with a speech and a Marvel one-liner, only for the Paradigm to crush her using the mech's fist, then cupping the group in hand. The Zero Point focuses on Geno, allowing Jones and the Foundation to try to find him, while the Loopers focus on destroying the Collider's crystal detonators. In Geno's reality, the Foundation and Jones witness both Geno and the Imagined getting scattered across the Omniverse. Before dying, Geno explains that his attempts weren't to destroy reality, but to protect and perfect all realities, using the Zero Point. Although some people believe that it would put reality in danger, and adds that the Foundation was correct that failure means the end of everything. Geno admits defeat and tells the Foundation to master the Zero Point anywhere he could, and then asks about Jones, because he never recognized him despite Jones working there for millennia. Then he fades away with the Imagined. Jones and the Foundation escape Geno's reality and arrive back on the island, only to find out the Collider was destroyed and the Imagined Order defeated. They fist bump, because they're bros. After the day is saved, Geno is seen reforming himself in Reality 35. Chapter 3, Season 3. The Zero Point is free and created a large reality tree that sends strange messages through its roots. The scientist attempts to decode the messages, as strange artifacts are being sent by the Zero Point. He also introduces his new AI, named AMIE, or Amy, who he asks the Looper to help calibrate. As the season ends, a strange, sticky, metallic liquid spreads across the island, and several members of Seven go missing, such as the Order and the Foundation. Chapter 3, Season 4. The liquid was known as chrome, and it duplicates molecules into chrome, turning all alive members into chrome except the Paradigm, who escapes into the Zero Point. The master of the chrome was the Herald, the messenger of the last reality, and a mysterious force that works with them, the Nothing. Slowly, Chrome approaches the reality tree, as Jones and Amy work for the Paradigm to stop the Herald. Fracture. As the Herald fuses with the reality tree, the whole island turns into chrome and explodes. The Paradigm uses an advanced technology for home reality to activate the Zero Fusion. Loopers assist, gathering orbs to power the Zero Point in the worst event ever. Finally, the new island is forged, and the Loopers are brought into the loop once again. Recap again. The island was transitioned to the flip side, unveiling Seven's home, the Sanctuary. The Scientist and the Imagined joined forces to search for the Paradigm, considered a traitor among the Seven. A war began between the Io and the Seven, and the Io created a machine capable of destroying all reality. The Seven rescued the Paradigm from the Ice Moon and readied the mech for combat. The Imagined sacrificed itself and stopped Geno, even though it wasn't actually successful. With the Zero Point free, a large reality tree grew, which warned of an incoming danger. The Seven were consumed by the Chrome and the Herald. The Paradigm sacrificed itself, started Zero Fusion, and created a new island.
Do you wanna play some Fortnite? We can go to Pleasant Park.
Chapter 4, Season 1 and 2. The island was ruled by the Ageless, a snapshot of Geno. Interesting enough, if you look at his hair, He has poliosis, which is a genetic disorder. Maybe that's why he wanted to find the perfect genetic society. Amy recruited a looper to collect kinetic ore, strange material capable of creating a body for her. The Aegis' Rift Warden ordered the loopers to help build a rift portal, as a shapeless man that haunts his dreams demands it. Amy uses the rift portal to try to find Seven, noticing how the chrome changed him into something far worse, as their existence was completely rewritten. This might come up later. The rift warden activates the portal, but fails due to Amy's interference. The only notable thing about Season 2 is that all the files about the last reality in the Peace Syndicate's databases were destroyed and corrupted. Chapter 4, Season 3. An earthquake collapses at the center of the island, revealing a jungle hidden underneath. Dr. Sloan survived, and was in the tank, getting help from smaller factions that research a strange telescope-like device. Optimus Prime gives us cryptic warnings. Sloan learns of the use of an apparatus and prepares a new plan, as an eclipse is coming for the island. Chapter 4, Season 4. A time-traveling vampire called Kaido Thorn arrives to the island. He travels through time to collect rare artifacts to add to his collection. Sloan hires a heist team to steal a machine back from Kaido, and a vampire hunter takes him out. Jones, who was just floating in space till fracture because no one bothered to take him down, finally lands back on the island. He used the time machine to go back in time. The first Thanksgiving. Nope, wrong one. He's going actually back to July 18th, 2018. Recap again. A shapeless man orders the creation of a rift portal, only for it to fail due to tampering. Amy uses Riftgate and finds the Seven. All files on the last reality were corrupted. Sloan survived and learned of an oncoming eclipse. He stole a time machine from a vampire, and Jones went back in time.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
Jones was sent back to Chapter 1. For what? We don't really know. All we know is that Sloan said it was an extraction mission, and the future changed every week. Her last log mentioned how for the first time ever, she doesn't know what will happen next, and that reality isn't done with her or Jones yet. She leaves him with a simple message. Keep those campfires burning, Jones, wherever or whenever you go. The Big Bang. Eminem, Fortnite, and not much happened here. It was just an ad for UEFN.
This is my way. Fortnite, I'm playing it. Playing with my friends.
We have no idea how this island formed. All we know is Peely was kidnapped by the Society, a group of rich assholes. Jones teamed up with the rebel artist Hope to get him back. Meanwhile, the Society's leader and Hope's sister, Valeria, tracked down a mysterious artifact, Pandora's box. Mini-event! The Titan's Hand. A huge, one might even say Titanic, hand emerged out of the ground, with a strange box chained to it. The loopers worked together to break the chains, freeing the box and unleashing the horrors within. Chapter 5, Season 2. Greek mythology! I love Greek mythology! Except they totally fumbled it because Avatar took half the season. The box summoned the pantheon of Olympus, and their hatred alongside it. Valeria went missing, draining both the Society and Hope's family's bank accounts. Zeus threatened to end all of mortal kind, but the Loopers and Hope proved to be worthy and destroyed his hourglass. The gods all mention a feeling of power emanating from Hope. Mini-event! The statue. The statue of Mount Olympus gathered power before striking Pandora's box, sending it flying across the island into the ocean, releasing a sandstorm. Megalodon and his wastelanders arrived on the island, wishing to build a pipeline that would destroy the island. Jones and Hope wish to stop him, and Hope collects the gems of Pandora's box, summoning an oracle who can speak with Hope. The gems make Hope feel more powerful and give her horrible visions of something dark coming. The Wanderer. A mysterious man wanders the island, wearing only a hooded cape. Megalodon claims to be working together, and that he is not to be bothered under any circumstance. The Wanderer promises Megalodon that Hope will not beat him, and the island is Megalodon's. The pipeline. The pipeline is complete, and fuel begins flowing into the Leviathan, until, oh no, the Wanderer was Dr. Doom! And he hacked the pipeline and blew it up! And thus, Megalodon's plan is ruined, and the island is in peril, because of Dr. Doom, I guess. What am I doing with my life? Chapter 5, Season 4. Dr. Doom uses his powers of Pandora's box to become a god, forging armor and using his magic to kill the Fantastic Four, Thanos, and a bunch of other guys, and taking over the island. Jones and Hope come up with a plan, and using a rift beacon, blast Doctor Doom away from the island. Although it does harm Hope and damage her arm permanently. And then there's like some Halloween stuff, and there's like Hope makes some art. I don't know. The way we get to like the Chapter 2 remix thing is weird and not explained at all. Anyways, Chapter 2 remix. Eminem Fortnite again, and also Snoop Dogg, and Ice Spice, and some other people. And they're all on the Chopper 2 island, because it's not like you knew it before. Eminem Mom Spaghetti Minigun. Anyways, I think it's a dream or something, because, we wake up after a really cool concert, memorializing that one guy. And then, boom, we're on Chapter 6 island. Welcome to Chapter 6. Oh, I actually forgot. There was one interesting lore thing, the entirety of the remix Chapter 2 thing, and it was that Hope's paintings are known to predict the future, and in one of her paintings, a familiar face shows up. That's right, Dr. Sloan, baby. Although it's been a year later and she still hasn't shown up, so who knows? We end up on Onioshima, an island that's always existed, and somehow Hopes and Jones travel to it. They're tracking a piece of the 0 point, which seemed to have fallen into the island, but actually in the clutches of the dastardly Spirit Realm. We also learn about the Spirit siblings. 3 siblings whose ancestors caused a catastrophic event known as Summoning War. One of the island's resident demon experts becomes enveloped into it before her brother works to save her. He battles Shogun X, a huge demon general, and wins, saving his sister Jade. But he becomes obsessed with it, about stopping whatever force lies within, and enters the Spirit Realm alone. He joins forces with a greedy criminal known as Fletcher Kane, and in exchange for powerful masks for his goons, Daigo, the obsessed man, can have access to enough gold to repair his mask, thus the power to enter the Spirit Realm. He opens a portal and is consumed by the power of the dark presence hidden within, becoming just another one of his puppets. Meanwhile, the loopers take out Fletcher Kane. To help recover the shard, and Daigo, Jones calls an old friend, Midas. Since we took out Kane, who was an old rival of Midas's, he agrees to fund a superhero team, the Supernovas. They train alongside Robin and have an amazing mentor, Superman. Daigo returns with a tentacle of his dark presences and tries to destroy the island. The Supernovas battle it until Superman shows up and one-taps it, slicing it off and severing the tentacle. The dead tentacle rots, and the blood festers and boils until disgusting bugs climb out and start taking over the island. Luckily for us, Epic Games can't help but kill off the main gimmick of the season halfway through, and the bugs were executed immediately, pretty much. But after this, huge energy signals were picked up. Jones and Hope knew it was coming. The Demon Master arrived and ravaged the island. Then, the aliens from Simpsons showed up, wanting to fuck the Demon Master because he has luxurious tentacles or something. Anyways, they abduct Hope and Jones, who then take over the UFO and break off a tiny little chunk of the Demon Master's shard, which, by the way, it's imprinted in his chest in a really cool way. He's just a really cool guy, and it's actually a good design in Fortnite, so good job, Epic Games. You did something right for the first time in 2 years. Anyways, then Hope and the aliens fight over control of the UFO and end up in Springfield Island, a mix between Springfield and Fortnite Island. But not like the actual island, basically a concept of an island, because the actual island is still being destroyed by the Dark Presence guy. So anyways, the shard ends up in the hands of local idiot Homer Simpson, who infuses it into a remote and uses it to cause chaos over town, until realizing, oh no, Hope and Jones are going to get in trouble, I'm going to get in trouble from them, and he throws it into the nuclear power plant, melting it, and fusing with him, causing tiny Homers to come across the island and ravage it, destroy it, eating anything they can, until they're all taken out and fused into one big Homer. After some convincing from his lovely wife Marge, rips out the 0 point shard, and lands back in Hope and Jones' hands. Homer agrees to help them stop the Demon Master, and a plan begins. So, what's next? Well, by the time the video comes out, it should be pretty soon until the event, 0 hour, arrives. And holy shit, they're finally actually doing Fortnite lore again. So, the event itself. We know we're going to have Godzilla, King Kong, Megazord, Star Wars, Superman, the Demon Ladies from K-pop Demon Hunters, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Miku, Kill Bill, Homer, Giant Homer, and probably more, alongside Hope, Jones, probably Peely, and whatever other Fortnite guys show up. Oh, Supernovas, I think, are gonna show up, which is kind of cool because they're actually see. This is what Fortnite should have done for a long time. They're actually making everything the chapter had beforehand and reusing it and making it make sense in the final event, which is great. So, anyways, they're all gonna fight the Dark Presence. We don't know what's gonna happen, but Fortnite is teasing that Chapter 7 is the return of the Seven, which holy shit, it's been way too long. And in the Chapter 7, Season 1 key art, Strange Man stands in the middle with a golden cube in his head and 7 logos on him. Personally, I think that's the Visitor, who has been transformed by the Chrome and the evilness of his last reality and has become a dark version of himself. And thanks to I think he's Spanish or French, streamer who played Chapter 7 early, we know that that name is the Traveler, which would make sense. The Visitor became the Traveler who travels to new realities to take them over. And if you look really close, you can even see the IO logo, so maybe all 3 factions are coming back. And the Fortnite lore is about to hopefully become strong like it used to be. Although I do like Hope and I do like Jones and I hope they continue, I'm really glad they're bringing back these old concepts into the lore. It's really tying everything together to a great knot. This is everything. I hope the event's good and everything. And wow, this is 40 minutes about Fortnite lore. Jesus. Okay, goodbye now.